The individual members are called stamen. Okay, and a typical stamen is made up of three parts. A typical stamen is made up of three parts. This stalk, settle down fast, huh? And this stalk of the stamen is called as the filament. And at the top, anterior most part is called as the anther. And then there is connector. So typical stamen is made up of three parts. Don't repeat everything, just listen. Filament, connective, and the anther. The filament is either connected to the thalamus or it is connected to a petal. So we can have a petal like this to which the filament is connected. Okay? So the NCERT says that the filament has got two ends, two parts of filament. The part which is connected to the thalamus is the proximal end, and the one which is connected to the anther is called as distal end. So the filament is connected distally to the anther and it is proximally either connected to the thalamus or to the petals. Okay? So when the stamen will be connected to the petals, is it fused with the same whorl or a different whorl? And that fusion with a different whorl is called adhesion. इसके पहले वाले लेक्चर में हम लोगों ने cohesion देखा था. That was the fusion within the whorl, and that was shown by a bracket. Here I am talking about a fusion with some other whorl, and that fusion is called as adhesion, and is shown by an arched line. And in this case, the fusion is between androecium and the corolla. This condition is called epipetalous condition. The main reproductive whorl is androecium. The individual parts are called stamen. The stamen is made up of filament, anther, and the connective. The filament is a stalk proximally connected to the thalamus or the petals. And if it is proximally connected to the petal, it is an adhesion of two different parts, of two different whorls, which is called epipetalous condition and is shown by C or A के बीच में एक arched line. Did everybody get up to here?
Yes.
Between the anther lobes, now what I am saying is, a typical anther shows the presence of two compartments. Okay? These compartments are called as the anther lobes. And the two anther lobes show the presence of a connective. Such a condition where the anther shows the presence of bilobed condition. Matlab, how many anther lobes? Two anther lobes. We say that it's a bithecous anther. What do you call the anther?
Bithecous anther.
Understood what the bithecous anther?
Yes.
So a typical anther has how many anther lobes? Two anther lobes. And what are we calling the condition? Bithecous condition. Take a transverse section. Take a TS of the anther. And when you observe it under the microscope, it will show the presence of inside four pollen sacs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? These are called pollen sacs or microsporangia. Okay? So typically an anther has how many pollen sacs? Four pollen sacs. That condition is called as tetrasporangiate condition. Tetra meaning four. The presence of four pollen sacs in a bythecous anther is called as tetrasporangiate condition. यहाँ तक समझ में आया सबको? ओके, मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव वर्ग का नाम बताइए। इंडिविजुअल मेंबर का नाम? बराबर है? ओके। स्टेबल टिपिकल स्टेबल की कितने पार्ट्स? कौन से? स्टॉक को क्या बोलेंगे? फिलामेंट की कितने एंड्स है? प्रॉक्सिमल किससे कनेक्टेड है? या फिर पेटल से? अगर वो पेटल से कनेक्टेड है तो उसको क्या कहेंगे? It's an example of an adhesion and is shown as C and A के बीच में arch line. In a transverse section, we see that it is bythecous with four pollen sacs, and that condition is called as tetrasporangial condition. Clear all of you? Now, in the pollen sac, there is a cell called pollen mother cell, which is diploid. And the pollen mother cell undergoes cell division, that is meiosis. And as you all know, meiosis is a reductional division. It will reduce the chromosome number to half. And that will result in the formation of four haploid cells. And these four haploid cells are called as pollen grains. Okay? Now, each pollen grain, now I'm not talking about all the four, I'm talking about one pollen grain. This one pollen grain will undergo two mitosis. First and second mitosis. So when it will undergo first mitosis, I'll break down it like this. When it undergo first mitosis, it will form two nuclei inside a tube, which is called as the pollen tube. Then one small nucleus will undergo a second mitosis, and inside the pollen tube I see two new cells called as the two sperms or the two male gametes. Okay, so that is the job of the anther. So just like a male shows the presence of a testis, and inside the testis there is formation of sperms, our anther shows the presence of pollen sacs with pollen mother cells, meiosis to produce the pollen grains. The pollen grains undergo two mitosis and result in the formation of the two male gametes, which will participate in the process of fertilization. I hope you got my point, everybody.
The last point.
Which last point?
Second meiosis.
Second meiosis or second mitosis?
Mitosis.
So initially the pollen grain has got one nucleus. It undergoes first mitosis. So how many cells now you have? Two. Now the smaller one will undergo a second mitosis, and it will result in the formation of the two male gametes or the two sperms. So now the pollen tube shows the presence of two male gametes, which will participate in the process of fertilization. Clearly, समझ में आया सबको? So that is the job of the anther. The job of the anther is to produce pollen grains, and the job of the pollen grains is to produce the male gametes. Yes, Muthara?
So cytokinesis is new, man. Yeah.
Where?
In the pollen.
Here, it is a mitosis, which will involve cytokinesis of this cell called generative cell. Okay? As of now, it will be floating in the cytoplasm of this big cell, but later on it will produce two male gametes separately. Okay, so this karyokinesis will be followed by cytokinesis when you get formation of two male gametes. Okay, did you get it, everyone up to here?
Yes.
Now, further. So, which is the fertile part of the stamen? You understood fertile part? मतलब वो वाला part जो sperms बना सकता है, वो कौन है? Anther. Okay. And the anther is a part of the stamen. I will classify, or I'll say that it's of two types. Okay. There are two conditions that I see. One is called as Adelphi, and the other is called as syngeny. Okay, there are two new words. Pronounce them. Bolo Adelphi. Adelphi. Syngeny. Okay, and both of them, that is Adelphi and syngeny, are examples of cohesion. Cohesion याद है सबको? The fusion within the whole is called as cohesion. Okay, so Adelphi and syngeny both are examples of cohesion. In syngeny, what we see is the anthers are fused and the filaments are free. In syngeny, the anthers, I have shown 4 anthers, they are all fused, but their individual filaments are free. Such a condition is called as syngeny. Understood, all of you?
Yes.
In the case of Adelphi, the anthers are free, but all the filaments, they fuse, and the fusion of the filaments results in the formation of a single tube. This condition where the anthers are free and the filaments are fused is called as Adelphi. So the condition where anthers are free but the filaments are fused is called Adelphi. And the condition where anthers are fused and filaments are free is called syngeny. Got the difference between the two?
Yes.
So Adelphi is a situation where anthers are free and the filaments are fused, and in this case, all the filaments fuse and they result in the formation of one tube. There is one tube. I'll call it one staminal tube. कितनी staminal tube है? 8. Such a condition is called monoadelphi. So in Adelphi, I've just told you about a condition called monoadelphi. समझा monoadelphi sir को? So in monoadelphi, how many staminal tubes are there? One. So mono means one. Another condition where 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 anthers, they fuse to form one staminal tube, and one of the anther has its own separate staminal tube. So 9 filaments of 9 anthers are fusing to form one tube, and one of them is free. So how many staminal tubes do I see here? 2 staminal tubes. Correct, Bachelo?
Yes.
So that is why the condition is called diadelphi. Did the class follow what is diadelphi?
Yes.
So in a diadelphous situation, how many staminal tubes are there? 2 staminal tubes. And this arrangement is called as 9+1 arrangement. And it is seen in garden P, that is your family Fabaceae. Okay? The garden P family, Fabaceae. So Fabaceae family के diagnostic character, मतलब अगर Fabaceae family को मुझे पहचानना है, तो दो चीजों से इजीली पहचाना जाता है, एक C1 plus 2 plus 2 and A is 9 plus 1. Correct? So दो चीजें इजी है किसको पहचानने के लिए, फैबेसी। एक कौन सा बच्चों लोग, C1 plus 2 plus 2 और दूसरा वाला कौन सा है, A 9 plus 1 arrangement. Understood everyone? Okay. So quick recap. The male reproductive whorl is called androecium. Individual members are called. The stamen is divided to anther filament and the connective. The filament is a stalk proximally connected to the thalamus or the petal and distally connected to the anther. If it is connected to the petal, it's an example of adhesion, which is called as epipetalous condition. Okay, शुरू से पहला. A typical anther has got two lobes, so it is called bithegus anther. In a transverse section, it shows the presence of four pollen sac, so it is called as tetrasporangiate condition. Pollen sac के अंदर होती है pollen mother cell, जो कैसी है, diploid है. It will undergo meiosis to form four haploid pollen grains. Each individual pollen grain will undergo two mitosis, ultimately to produce two male gametes, और ये दो male gametes participate करेंगे fertilization की process. समझ आया तक सबको? ओके. अब कोहेजन दिखाता है स्टेबल. अगर एंथर फ्यूज्ड है, फिलामेंट फ्री है, तो उसको सिंजेनी बोलते हैं. अगर एंथर्स फ्री और फिलामेंट फ्यूज है तो उसको एडेल्फी बोलते हैं. अगर एक ही स्टमाइनल ट्यूब है तो उसको बोलेंगे मोनोएडेल्फी. दो स्टमाइनल ट्यूब्स है तो करेंगे डायडेल्फी. और अगर उससे ज्यादा होंगे देन इट विल बी कॉल्ड एज पॉलीएडेल्फी. सो एडेल्फी इज हाउ मेनी टाइप्स? 3 टाइप्स. मोनो, डाई एंड पॉलीएडेल्फी. Clear everyone? All of you, समझ में आ गया सबको? Okay. Then let us talk about the gynoecium, which is the male or female reproductive whorl? Female reproductive whorl. That is called as the gynoecium. Okay. ये वाला यहाँ लिख देता हूँ मैं. Adhesion A और C के बीच में the condition will be called as epipetalous condition. आया समझ में सबको? So वैसे ही फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव whorl देखते हैं बच्चों. The female reproductive whorl is called gynoecium. The individual member is called as the carpel. Okay? The whorl is called gynoecium. One member is called as the carpel. And the carpel is made up of 3 parts. It is made up of 3 parts. सबसे ऊपर वाला anterior most part is called as the stigma. This is the style. And this is the ovary. Okay? In angiosperms, the pollen grain, remember the pollen grain?
Yes.
The pollen grain falls on the stigma. Okay? Who falls on the stigma? Pollen grain. So can I say the stigma is the receptive part of the carpel? क्या बोला मैंने? Stigma is the receptive part of the carpel. Followed why I said the receptive part? Because it is receiving the pollen grains at the time of pollination. Okay, have you studied gymnosperms? Kingdom plantae? No. Okay. So this pollination, where the pollen grain falls on the stigma, is called as indirect pollination. So how is the pollination in angiosperms? Indirect pollination. Now the ovary, okay, shows the presence of a nutritive tissue. The ovary shows the presence of a nutritive tissue. What is the nutritive tissue called? Placenta. And on the placenta, we see the presence of structures which are called as ovules. ओके, सो गाइनोशियम के इंडिविजुअल मेंबर को क्या कहेंगे? कार्पेल। कार्पेल के तीन पार्ट्स आ गए, स्टिग्मा, स्टाइल और ओवरी। ओवरी के अंदर न्यूट्रिटिव टिश्यू है, खाना पीना देने वाला टिश्यू, उसको बोलते हैं प्लेसेंटा, और इस प्लेसेंटा के ऊपर क्या रहते हैं? ओव्यूल्स। आई बात समझ सबको? एक जो टिपिकल ओव्यूल है, ओके, this is how a typical ovule looks like. It has an opening on the top, which is called as the micropyle. It has got two protective coats called as the integuments. It has a stalk, which is called as the funicle. A base, which is called as the chalaza. A typical ovule shows the presence of an opening, which is called micropyle. दो protective layers, integuments. ये जो base है, इसको कहते हैं chalaza. And the stalk of the ovule is called as the funicle. समझा सबको? So what are the parts of a typical ovule? Micropyle, integuments, chalaza, and the funicle. And inside, it shows the presence of the embryo sac. And this embryo sac is the female gametophyte. Matlab, it shows the presence of an egg. Center cell is called as egg. And there are many other cells which you will learn later on. And in the center, there are two nuclei, which are called the two polar nuclei. Okay? Each polar nuclei is haploid. But before fertilization, these two polar nuclei will get fused and it will produce a diploid nucleus, which is called the secondary nucleus. Okay? Once again. So there is a red thing. You saw the red one, everybody?
Yes.
That is called as the embryo sac. The embryo sac has many different type of cells. One of them is egg. And this egg is the actual female gamete. Other than that, in the center there are two nuclei. What are they called? Two polar nuclei. They get fused and they form a diploid nucleus, which is called as the secondary nucleus. Did you get it, everyone?
Yes.
So now, when the pollen grain will fall on the stigma and it will produce a tube. What is the tube called? And in the pollen tube, how many male gametes are there? Two male gametes are there. One of the male gamete will fuse with the egg and it will form the zygote that will form the baby plant. Another male gamete will fuse with the secondary nucleus and that will result in the formation of a triploid cell, which is called as the primary endosperm nucleus. सुना मेरी बात? तो कितने मेल गैमेट्स यूज हुए? दो मेल गैमेट्स, और उसकी वजह से क्या बना? जाइगोट एंड प्राइमरी एंडोस्पर्म न्यूक्लियस. सो दो मेल गैमेट्स यूज हुए ना, इसीलिए इस प्रोसेस को हम कहेंगे डबल फर्टिलाइजेशन. बराबर है? जिसकी वजह से, डबल फर्टिलाइजेशन की वजह से, ये जो ओवरी है, ओवरी, it will change into a fruit. So fruit comes from a ripened ovary, मतलब ovary after fertilization. आया बात समझ सबको? ये कौन है बच्चों? ओव्यूल है। बताइए ओव्यूल के पास कितने इंटीग्यूमेंट्स थे? 2। तो ये बन गया सी, बराबर है। तो ये जो बाहर का इंटीग्यूमेंट है उसको हम कहेंगे टेस्टा, अंदर वाले इंटीग्यूमेंट को कहेंगे टेगमेन, दोनों को मिलके कहेंगे सीड कोड। और ये कहां से आया? इट हैज कम फ्रॉम द ओव्यूल एंड इट्स इंटीग्यूमेंट्स। क्लियर हो गई बात सबको? यहाँ पे कौन फॉर्म हुआ था? जाइगोट। नाउ दिस जाइगोट विल डेवलप and it will produce a baby plant. Correct बच्चे लोग? Give me yes or no?
Yes.
And this baby plant is called as the embryo. जो कहाँ से आया बच्चों? Zygote में से आया. Correct? And this embryo needs खाना पीना. And that is the endosperm. जो कहाँ से आया? Primary endosperm nucleus. 12 में और भी ज्यादा डिटेल आएगा, बड़ी बेसिक आइडिया भी सबको आ गई। अगर मैं ये फ्रूट खाऊं और आपको सीड दे दूं, तो यू सो द सीड एंड वंस अगेन व्हाट विल कम आउट? अ न्यू प्लांट विद रूट स्टेम एंड लीफ। व्हाट इज एवरीबॉडी? सो द फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव वर्ल इज द gynoecium. Individual member is called carpel. Carpel is made up of stigma, style and ovary. ओवरी के अंदर प्लेसेंटा, प्लेसेंटा के ऊपर ओव्यूल्स। सही है। फिर एक टिपिकल ओव्यूल के पास माइक्रोपाइल, इंटेगुमेंट्स, चलाजा, फ्यूनिकल, एम्ब्रियो सैक, बराबर। एम्ब्रियो सैक के अंदर फीमेल गैमेट एग और 2 पोलर न्यूक्लिया जो फर्टिलाइजेशन के पहले फ्यूज होके बनाएंगे सेकेंडरी न्यूक्लियस। पोलन ग्रेन एंथर में से रिलीज हुआ, बर्ड्स या इंसेक्ट्स कोई तो उसको कैरी करेगा और वो कहां गिरेंगे बच्चों? स्टिग्मा। ओके, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज इनडायरेक्ट पॉलिनेशन। फिर पोलन ट्यूब क्या कैरी करेगा? 2 मेल गैमेट्स, उसमें से एक मेल गैमेट किससे फ्यूज होता है? एग से, बनता है जाइगोट। दूसरा मेल गैमेट फ्यूज होता है सेकेंडरी न्यूक्लियस से, बनता है प्राइमरी एंडोस्पर्म न्यूक्लियस। ओके, जिसकी वजह से ओवरी चेंज हो गया फ्रूट में, ओव्यूल चेंज हो गया सीड में, और जाइगोट चेंज हुआ एम्ब्रियो में, पेन चेंज हुआ एंडोस्पर्म। Clear everybody? So that was the description about who? Gynoecium. So did you understand both?
Yes.
Which two parts? Androecium and gynoecium. Clear everybody?
Yes.
If there is only one carpel, the condition is called as monocarpellary. क्या कहेंगे उसको? शायद नाम से ही समझ में आ रहा है। मोनो मतलब वन, कार्पेल मतलब कार्पेल। So there is only one carpel is called monocarpel. More than one will be called bi, tri, multi. पेंटा पेंटा बोलने का जरूरत नहीं है। आया समझ में सबको? अब देखते हैं। Okay, are you there with me everybody?
Yes.
Now. क्या लिखा है मैंने बोर्ड वहां पे? कंपाउंड पिस्टल, मतलब इट हैज गॉट मोर देन वन कार्पेल। मोर देन इज कॉल्ड एज कंपाउंड पिस्टल, बराबर है? हाँ। इफ तो क्या, कैन यू सी दिस? टेल मी हु इज दिस? स्टिग्मा, स्टाइल, ओवरी। हु इज दिस? Stigma, style, ovary. Who is this?
Stigma, style, ovary.
Then
Stigma, style, ovary.
on the thalamus. So is it one carpel or many carpels?
Many carpels.
Many carpels. Are these carpels, madam, red t-shirt? नहीं, हाँ। चश्मे में से तो रेड नहीं, हाँ रेड है। हाँ प्लीज खड़े रहिए। क्यों आप कहाँ चले गए? ब्रेक में आपने बहुत खाया है? नहीं? तो बताइए किसकी बात हो रही है? और वो क्या होता है? सारे जहां से अच्छा फिर सारे कार्पेल के बहुत सारे कार्पेल के उससे भी बहुत सारे कार्पेल। आप ध्यान नहीं दे रहे। कंपाउंड क्रिस्टल का मतलब होता है एक से ज्यादा कार्पेल। ओके, बैठिए बैठिए। So you have got many carpels. Are they fused or are they free? Free. Remember this word now. They are called apocarpus. क्या बोलेंगे उसको?
Apocarpus.
याद रहेगा ये word apocarpus? And who is this? Stigma, style, stigma, style, stigma. But the ovary is fused. इसको बोलेंगे syncarpus. क्या कहेंगे उसको?
Syncarpus.
So if the carpels are free, the condition is called apocarpus. And if the carpels are fused, then it is called as
Syncarpus.
syncarpus. Okay? So अगर cohesion है, तो उस condition को क्या कहेंगे? Syncarpus. और कोहेजन नहीं है तो कंडीशन कौन सा है? अपोकारपस। इतना सब याद रख पाएंगे आप लोग? एवरीबॉडी। एक और पॉइंट ऐड करते हैं इसमें। हाँ, लिखते हैं पहले। तो चलो एक बार रिकैप करते हैं फट 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 फट। अभी जो हम लोग ने तैयार, अभी जो हम लोग ने वर्ड्स पढ़े वो एसेंशियल वर्ड्स है कि नॉन एसेंशियल वर्ड्स है? एसेंशियल वर्ड्स। कौन कौन आता है उसके अंदर? बैठो बैठो। तो एंड्रोशियम इज अ मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव वर्ड और फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव वर्ड, and its individual member is called stem. एक पूरा शांत रहो, स्वान और तुम का एकदम चेयर लेडी जैसा चिल्लाते हो, शांति से। लोग सबको पीछे वाले ना उनको गड़बड़ जाते हैं, उनको समझ में नहीं आता क्या बोल रहे हो, समझा? तो उनको सुनने दो, पीछे सब कट्टे ऊपर बैठे, ध्यान दो जब यहाँ पे देखो। हाँ, they shout and you can't listen ना। हाँ, that is what I observed. समझा? तो एंड्रोशियम का इंडिविजुअल मेंबर को बोलते हैं स्टेमन। देखो फिर से बोल रहे हैं आप लोग। एंड्रोशियम के इंडिविजुअल मेंबर को बोलते हैं स्टेमन। फिर से बोला नहीं बोलना है। इंडिविजुअल मेंबर को बोलते हैं स्टेमन। The stamen is divided into three parts. The three parts of the stamen are anther, connective, and the filament. Okay? Then the third point. The filament shows the presence of a proximal end and a distal end. The proximal end is connected to the thalamus or the petals, and the distal end is connected to the anther. Okay? If it is connected to the petal, then it is called as epipetalous condition. It is an example of an adhesion. A को दिखाते हैं as an arch with C. समझ में आया था उनको? A typical anther is bi-thickest. It shows the presence of two anther lobes. In a cross section, it will show the presence of four pollen sacs. That is called tetrasporangiate condition. The pollen sac show the presence of the pollen mother cell, undergoes meiosis to produce pollen grains. Pollen grains undergo mitosis to produce two male gametes. Then the cohesion can either be Adelphi or syngeny. Adelphi can either be monoadelphi, diadelphi or polyadelphi. Diadelphi में कितने स्ट्रामाइनल ट्यूब्स है? दो। इसको बोलते हैं 9+1 arrangement. It's a classical feature of P, that is Fabaceae fashion. The female reproductive wall is called gynoecium. The gynoecium is made up of carpel. The carpel is made up of stigma, style, and the ovary. The stigma is the receptive part. It receives the pollen grain. This pollination is called as indirect pollination. The ovary shows the presence of a nutritive tissue called placenta. On the placenta there are ovules. A typical ovule has a micropyle, protective coats called integuments, embryo sac, chalaza, and the funicle. Inside the embryo sac, there is an egg and two polar nuclei which will fuse to form the secondary nucleus. पोलन ग्रेन गिरा उधर, पोलन ट्यूब फॉर्म किया, दो मेल गैमेट्स फ्यूज हो गए, एक ने एग के साथ फ्यूजन किया बन गया जाइगोट, दूसरे ने फ्यूजन किया सेकेंडरी न्यूक्लियस के साथ बन गया प्राइमरी एंडोस्पर्म न्यूक्लियस, ओवरी बन गया फ्रूट, ओव्यूल बन गया सीड, पेन बन गया एंडोस्पर्म, जाइगोट बन गया एम्ब्रियो। कंपाउंड पिस्टिल मतलब एक से ज्यादा कार्पेल, अगर वो फ्री है तो उसको बोलते हैं अपोकार्पस, और अगर फ्यूज है तो बोलते हैं सिनकार्पस। एज वन सबको पूछो, कुछ क्वेश्चन है तो फिर आगे बढ़ेंगे। इसको जरा म्यूट पे कर दो। ओके, व्हाट इज प्लेसेंटेशन? Arrangement of ovules in the ovary is called
Placentation.
so the first diagram A1. There the fruit shows the presence of a ventral suture. Ventral suture means a small depression on the ventral side. It's an example of a pea pod. Pea pod मतलब मटर का जो pod रहता है ना, छिलका वो, तो उसके एक साइड पे ऐसा suture रहता है, थोड़ा deep line रहती है जहाँ पे वो break हो सकता है. So that is called which suture? Ventral suture. Okay, and all the ovules are arranged along the ventral suture. Where are they arranged? Along the ventral suture. That is the margin. Okay, such a placentation is called marginal placentation. क्या कहते हैं उसको?
Marginal placentation.
So underline that example over there. And where are the seeds and the ovules arranged? Along the ventral suture, and that is called as what? Marginal placentation. आया समझ में सबको? Give me yes or no? Yes. Look at the second type now. First of all, look at the second diagram, B diagram, and give me some answers. Is it a unilocular ovary or a multilocular ovary? Multiple compartments दिख रहे हैं ना? हाँ. And can I say it is trilocular?
Yes.
How many locules are there?
Three.
And can I say the ovules or the seeds are arranged on the central part of the placenta?
Yes.
Okay, where are all the ovules or the seeds arranged? At the central part of the placenta. That is called as exile placentation. अगर ये उसको
Exile placentation.
exile placentation. Okay, so पहला वाला कौन सा placentation था? Marginal placentation. Okay, where there is a ventral suture and all the ovules are arranged on the ventral suture. In the second diagram, it is a multilocular या फिर trilocular ovary, and the ovules are arranged in the center. Correct, मुझे लोग? Okay. Now, what are the examples of exile placentation? China rose, tomato, and lemon. Underline those three. China rose, tomato, and lemon. है वो याद कर पाए. Look at the C diagram. Okay. And tell me about the locule. Anish, tell me about the locule. Diagram C. Locule कितने हैं? Single है. Yes or no? It is unilocular. And where are the ovules present? In the center or towards the periphery? So can I say the ovules are on the inner wall of the ovary or the peripheral part? Yes, that is called as the parietal placentation. What do you call it? Parietal placentation. Got it, everybody?
Yes.
क्या कहेंगे उसको? Parietal placentation. Okay? उसके एग्जाम्पल में दिया है मस्टर्ड है, आर्चर. मस्टर्ड आगे एक और बार करने वाले हैं. नेक्स्ट वाला देखो, नीचे वाला डायग्राम डी वाला. ओके, हियर आल्सो इट इज अ यूनिलोक्युलर ओवरी, and The ovules are born on the central axis.
Yes.
Is there any septa present over there?
No.
No. That is called as a free central placentation. क्या कहेंगे उसको?
Free central placentation.
Okay. Example में dianthus and primrose. So look at the first placentation once again. Marginal. Where are the ovules arranged? On the ventral margin, ventral suture. Example क्या आएगा? P. नीचे वाले डायग्राम में where are the ovules arranged? It's a multilocular ovary and there is a central placenta और वहाँ पे सारे ovules arranged in the center. थर्ड वाले डायग्राम में सेप्टा नहीं है बीच में, बहुत सारे ovules कहाँ पे? पेरिफेरी. फोर्थ वाले में फ्री सेंट्रल बोला है, वहाँ पे बीच में सेप्टा नहीं है, and all of them are attached in the center. And the last one is what? Basal placentation, where the ovules are at the base. That is called as basal placentation. D wala. Okay. So in the D1, it is like this. This is the ovary. This is the funicle ovule like this. So that is the base. So that is what is called as what? Basal placentation. Okay. And एक और चीज एक्स्ट्रा वाला जो we left it previously. What is this condition called? Didynamics. Didynamics. ये stamens का condition है. Totally how many stamens are there? 4. 2 are short and 2 are long. That is called didynamics. Tetradynamics में total how many stamens? 6. Out of which 4 are outer short and 2 in the center are long. Okay? So see the inside text where in the androecium part there may be a variation in the length of the filaments within a flower. As in salvia के यहाँ पे लिखो didynamics condition. What do you write for salvia? Didynamics condition. Okay? Didynamics में कैसा है? Total कितने हैं? 4. 2 short, 2 long. Mustard में you write tetradynamics condition. And tetradynamics में क्या? 4 short बाहर वाले, 2 long अंदर वाले. ठीक है? समझ में आई मेरी बात? कल लर्न करके आना सब. ओके?